Hello and a warm welcome as always to the head coach with me, Daniel. It's season 4, episode 2, and we're still at Dover as today we play a big doubleheader in the Vanarama National League against Morecambe away, followed by Dulwich Hamlet at home. But since the last episode, you can see we've played another 10 league games. We're now 11 games into the season. We've got the worst goal difference of anyone in the top half, but we are still in that top half in what has been a very tight start to the league season, with just 5 points separating nearly half of the league. So let's go and have a look at the results since you were last with me. If we go to our scheduler, you were obviously with us for the first game of the season at home to Mansfield, where Ryan Bird scored the goal in a 1-1 draw before Boateng really unluckily deflected a ball into his own net. We then went with back-to-back wins away to Dagenham and Redbridge, Boateng redeeming himself and getting the winner there, before a narrow win at home to Halifax with Jonah Ayunga getting off the mark for the season with a brace. We then lost 2-1 at Hartlepool, our nemesis of this save they're turning out to be. Ryan Berg got a late goal, but we were already out of it by then. We then got back to winning ways at home to Ebbsfleet. You can start to see the pattern here with the home and away games. Jonah Ayunga and Connor Evans getting off the mark for us. Before we then went back to losing games away at Eastleigh 1-0. We then went narrowly back to winning ways at home against Blythe, Casey and Ayunga with the goals. Before another draw at home to Salford with Ryan Bird getting the goal from the spot. He then scored again away to Gateshead as we lost 2-1, before we collapsed remarkably against Aldershot. It was 1-0 at half time. 2-0 at half time. They scored in the stroke of half time, and they just went absolutely rampant in the second half. It was 6-1 defeat. Jordan Murphy did get off the mark in that game, but other than that there were no positives at all. But in our last game, we just got back to winning ways with an unfamiliar name on the scoring sheet in George Tretcher, I think that is, and Jonah Ayunga also on the score sheet. So we've seen a couple of unfamiliar names, so let's go and have a look at the transfers. It's the other big bit of news. Our director of football's trying to bring in a striker, George Newell, at the moment, who's a fantastic player for this level. So I'll be delighted if he gets that one through. But we have got 4 to talk about anyway. Spencer Gibbs is a right winger on loan from Ipswich. He's 2-star current ability, 5-star potential. The only reason he's here is because our right winger Shiloh Tracy is out injured for 3 months. He's coming back slowly and he's available. It was just a dislocated shoulder. But as a result, he can't play really. I know he's available, but we don't want to risk him. So Spencer Gibbs is playing on the right at the moment as our only backup. You can see he's been pretty poor so far. We've also got George Tretcher, who scored in the last game. He's a left winger with 3-star ability and 5-star potential. He looks very good and has displaced Pinnock from the team. Looks like a proper replacement for Ryan Hall. We also had Callum O'Neill, another useless goalkeeper. I don't know why we've signed him, but he'll be another backup. And then another goalkeeper, but this time our new first choice goalkeeper will make his debut today. Scott Brown is a 35-year-old, made loads of appearances, Wickham, Cheltenham, Aberdeen before that as well. He's really quality, he's got good experience, and he will jump straight into the first team. So let's get straight into the game. Morecambe are sat in mid-table, but we're away from home and we've been in awful form away, culminating in that 6-1 defeat against Aldershot. So let's have a look at our team today. We've got one change to bring in, which is Scott Brown for Mitch Walker. But otherwise, our squad's going to be unchanged from our 2-0 win against Woking. We've got Brown in goal. The back 4 is Pike, Parry, Boateng and Senior. Gibbs is in midfield with Tretcher on the wings. Brundle and Ashby are in the middle as usual. And Jordan Murphy is in up front alongside Jonah Ayunga, as Ryan Bird has been in absolutely atrocious form this season. And Connor Evans wasn't much better before picking up an injury himself. Let's get into it, see if we can get a result. Scott Brown needs a number, he hasn't played a game yet. We'll give him one of the random keeper ones. Only 24 because I remember Rami Shaban having it for Arsenal back in the day. I don't know why I remember that, but as a result I'll always give the third choice keeper 24 now. We're going to ask them to pick up where they left off. It was a good result in the last game. I've got to be honest, I didn't expect to get anything out of it after losing 6-1 the game before. The confidence was shot, but we just got back to winning ways in perfect fashion. Here's Tretcher on the left wing, wins it for Ashby, a long ball up to Ayunga, but it's intercepted. And a few minutes in, we haven't looked like threatening yet. But neither have Morecambe, so we'll take a draw in this one. The way we've been playing away from home, a point would be a fantastic result to get back on track. And 15 minutes in, not much is happening. They've had one shot on target, but it's not been worthy of a highlight. And as a result, we're relatively comfortable with the position we're in. Here Morecambe are coming forward with the right winger Jordan. He's gone for a speculative effort and it's gone high and wide. And we'll take that if that's all they want to offer. But they've got a set piece this time and they've hit it from the edge. Again, it's Jordan. Now that Bekele on the left wing there, I'm pretty sure he caused us chaos one game recently. Let's get him highlighted. Bekele, where was he last season? Maidstone, that's it. We lost 3-0 at home to Maidstone. He came on and caused absolute havoc. But here they come again. They clear the ball, but Brundle's mopping up well. Parry will surely go for the big ball forward after what seemed to be a double pirouette for some reason. Ball out to the right, but it's intercepted by Gibbs, but Brundle's pass forward's no better. Ashby wins a header, and we're just playing head tennis in the middle of the park here before they get it under control, but hoof it straight up to Boateng, who gives it away straight to them. On the left wing now, they've put a cross in Bekele again, but it's tipped away and Tretcher will clear. Half an hour in, they are starting to cause some warning signs. We haven't had any shots at all, let alone on the target, and they have gone 1-0 up. How that cross has reached the man in the middle of the goal, I have no idea, but we are 1-0 down, and we can't say it's not deserved, to be honest. Our away form's continuing. We're definitely not going to get back to winning ways on the road this time. Pike's got the ball at right back and he's just walked it away. Another crossing. That's twice in that game they've had a cross that's hit the crossbar. I'm not sure how that's happened. And Jordan's got it on the edge again. Shoots again. He seems to want the glory, that kid. But it's been blocked out for a throw-in for Morecambe. This has not been a good performance whatsoever as we come towards half-time. Morecambe are coming forward again on the right. The ball's got back into centre midfield, and look how much space they've got. But Pike makes a good challenge, but it's only fallen to the spare man again. His three in midfield, as always, is causing us chaos and trouble. And Kenyon gets it wide for them. They've put a big ball up to the striker, which Boateng heads away. But it's relentless pressure. We're just camped out on the edge of our box. Kenyon there, and look at the man over again as they get it wide. Will Pike clear? He will, but he's not even managed to get out for a throw-in. And it's fallen to them again 30 yards out, as they just seem to be walking round us at the minute. A lovely ball up for them. They've knocked it down for the striker to Jordan, and Scott Brown has to make the save. We are living very dangerously here, and at 1-0 we'll be lucky to get away with this at half-time. We have had our first shot of the game, but it's not on target. And as they're coming forward again, we're still not going to see an attacking highlight. Bekele on that left wing gets the cross in. He wins a header easy up front, but it's been headed just wide and Scott Brown dives away. Goal kick long towards the Younger. It's been headed away. This looks like the sort of game that might be good for Ryan Bird. He's been playing up front, but he's been really poor. But we need a target man in this game, so we might give him a shout. A Younger wins the ball to Jordan Murphy. Can he get in behind? Back to a Younger in the box. Are we going to steal a goal before half-time? We're not. It's straight at the keeper and cleared away. And the highlight ends before we can build any more pressure. That will just about be half-time. We've got one big clearance beforehand. Hopefully they won't get a last chance to nick a second. They've got the ball into Bekele in the box, but he's put it well wide. And at half-time, it is going to be 1-0 to Morecambe. We've only had one good chance, and as a result, we can't complain that we're behind against a team that have been far better than us. We'll give them a bit of criticism, as we've tended to do every game away from home because of their performances. As Senior clears it early in the second half, a Younger does well to bring that down, actually. Tretcher knocks it back to Ashby. Can we build an attack with a Younger on the left? He's got a man in the middle if he finds him, but the touch is poor and it's cleared for a throw-in. As we come towards 10 minutes in the second half and not much is happening again, and it looks like it's very settled down at 1-0, but Brundle's got a set piece to Gibbs. Gibbs tries to shoot. How often have we talked about that? Every team on this game just shooting from the edge of the box, whether they've got long shot settings on or not. Here they come again, then down the left. They seem to be causing us all sorts of trouble with that. Parry gets the ball away. Lucky not to give away a penalty, maybe. A Younger 1-2 with Murphy. Into the box. Jordan Murphy. What a goal. It's 1-1. The front two combine well. And maybe we don't need Ryan Bird. Jordan Murphy continues his heroics. I told you before I had a soft spot for him after he played with me for Worcester a couple of years ago on Football Manager and took us up 3 divisions in a row as the lone striker. And the Younger's coming forward again here from the long ball. Back to Ashby. Brundle's got a man out wide if he can find him. It's Spencer Gibbs. Can he get the ball into the box? He does for a Younger. Oh, he's missed out. They just seem to not attack it. Tretcher's lost out, but a Younger again to Ashby. Edge of the box to Brundle, into a Younger, and he's gone for the top corner, but it didn't have enough pace on it, and the keeper holds easily. Morecambe bringing it forward again. It's a bit more end-to-end this half. Senior heads away, but only to the right. Ball into the box, and it's headed away. Gibbs can bring it forward. Can we get it to the dangerous front two again? He's hit it into a Younger. He's through 1-on-1. A Younger from 6 yards. The keeper stands still as he passes it under him, and it is 2-1 to us remarkably after an awful first half. But we're back on the score sheet, and can we win away from home? 2-1 up, and it's so undeserved. Morecambe will be kicking themselves after that first half. Tretcher's not had the best of games. We're going to bring him off for Pinnock with 20 minutes to go. We'll also give Ashby a rest for Coventry. There's nothing else we want to do at the moment, is there? Boateng's not been great. I tell you what, let's do all 3. We'll bring Casey on. He's an able replacement. Casey got a rating of, I think, 5.3 in that 6-1 defeat at Aldershot. Gave away a penalty and gave away a free kick that led to a goal. Got a booking, had a really poor game. There was no way I could justify playing him again, as much as I like him the game afterwards. So he's going to have to settle for a place on the bench for a couple of games as Boateng and Parry renew their acquaintance at centre-half. Cato's bringing it forward, and you've got to say Morecambe would deserve a point out of this game, but that doesn't mean we want to give it to them as they bring it forward down the left with Bruff, the man we've been asked to close down before. Long ball through, but Brown's out comfortably to deal with that. Scott Brown's going to be a really good addition to this team, I can just tell. I know it's harsh on Mitch Walker. He's the record appearance maker for the club in the 240s now, I think. And he will get to 250. We'll find a way to do it. But we can't turn down the experience of Scott Brown in the middle there. He's been such a good goalkeeper in the professional leagues. And he's got out of this league before with Cheltenham, so we have to keep faith with him. 10 minutes to go, we've got another attack on the right with Pike. Spencer Gibbs has lost the ball. The ball's cleared, but we've got 3-on-1 back there. And Senior mops up well to Pike. Parry with the long ball forward. No one's there, but Brundle can bring it down in midfield. Coventry up to Murphy. He's in 1-on-1 again. Back to Ayunga. And it is 3-1. These front two have been superb. Murphy and Ayunga combine, and Ayunga puts it away in the bottom corner. Surely that wrapped things up for us now. This second half we've been absolutely brilliant after getting outplayed before, and we cannot complain at the way our front two have been combining in this half. We've got 5 minutes to go. Once this highlight's over, we'll make a little change. Long ball up that's cleared away by Morecambe. Are they going to get there first? They are with Lake on the left. Coventry mops up well though, and Casey goes long. Ayunga's in again. Could it be 4? It's gone across to Murphy, and it is 4. Ayunga crosses for Murphy. 4-1 win. We don't even need to worry about being disciplined now. We have won this game comfortably, and that front two have changed the game for us. Coventry into Brundle. If we can make it 5, we could return the favour of 6-1. There's still a few minutes. Coventry to Brundle. Ayunga into Murphy in the box. Can he shoot? It's tipped wide by the keeper. It's a good save, and we got a corner. You could never have seen this coming at half-time. They've responded to the team talk, to be fair to them. It's the first great game I've seen Spencer Gibbs have on the right. But after a shocking first-half performance, we've counted our blessings, and we're now winning 4-1 with just a couple of minutes of stoppage time left. We've barely had a chance to pause in this half. We've just been constantly on the highlights, and I've had to talk at record speed to keep up with the attacks. But we're just keeping possession now. Coventry gives it away with the long ball. Jordan hits it in behind, but Pike's there. Back to Scott Brown, the keeper, who's also managed a 7, which is rare for a keeper on this game. And Morecambe are going to bring it forward again, but will they get a last chance to score? Not with an effort like that. Cato from 40 yards, and it is a long, long way wide. Scott Brown takes his time with the goal kick. Long ball up to Murphy. Lost out in the air, but it falls straight to Coventry again. Into Ayunga, but it's not accurate enough. And Morecambe will bring it away. And even now the game's end to end with 30 seconds left. This second half's been a fantastic advert for the league. Murphy's got the ball to Ayunga. Can they combine once more? Ayunga doesn't. He goes wide to Pinnock, but Murphy's still in the box, but the cross is poor. And it's straight at the keeper along the ground, who gathers well. And with a couple of seconds left, we're going to win this one 4-1. What a fantastic second half performance. As the commentary rightly says, what we said at half time worked. 2 goals apiece for Ayunga and Murphy. Ayunga got 2 assists and Murphy 1 as well, as they supported each other brilliantly. Spencer Gibbs had a good game and got an assist too, and we're happy with a 4-1 win in that one. We're up to 8th place, level on points with the playoffs. You'll have to say it's undeserved after the first half performance, but we won't have any complaints for the outcome of the game. Scott Brown given a great reception on his debut, which is great. My team talk getting praised by Brundle. That's exactly what the head coach does. Jonah Ayunga's going to get praise for his performance, and we're going to go and do exactly the same thing for Jordan Murphy, who played alongside him, because there's no way he doesn't deserve it. And we'll be back in a minute to try and make it back-to-back wins against Dulwich Hamlet. Right, we're back for the second game at home to Dulwich Hamlet in the National League, but before that we have got that signing. George Newell's been confirmed at the club. It has caused Ryan Bird to throw a wobbly, and Boateng's a bit unhappy too because he's been wanted and not been allowed to go by the director of football. But let's go and have a look at Newell. He's 4-star current ability, same for potential, and you can see just attribute-wise he's a class above what we've got. He's more natural in a deep line role, but the advanced forward, he's a fairly capable player, and we're not going to complain at all about having him at the club to choose from. We'll keep him on the bench today as we're favourites for this game, and we can't drop either of the front two after the last one. And that means we've got Scott Brown in goal, Pike, Parry, Casey and Senior at the back, Gibbs, Brundle, Ashby and Tretcher in midfield, and Ayunga and Murphy up front. Casey coming in for Boateng's the only change in the first 11. Boateng, as I said, he's wanted by Leyton Orient, and as a result, he's a bit unhappy at the moment. Bird's out of the squad entirely after throwing his wobbly, and we've brought George Newell, the new signing, onto the bench, and we'll give him his appearance today. So let's get into it. He can have a nice number. No, he can't because there aren't any left, so we'll give him 23. Just because I don't like giving 2 and 4 to a striker. It's a flat 4-4-2 for Dulwich, so hopefully we'll be able to take advantage of that. We normally do fairly well against that formation, and at home we have been in very good form. It looks like a fairly big crowd there in that stand. I don't know if it's just I haven't noticed it before, but I don't normally see that many shirts over there. Tretcher's got it early on the left wing and the highlight ends. But we've got to report on the signings. The director of football's really coming to the fore this season. George Newell's been the pick of the bunch. As a Younger gets in behind from a long ball, the keeper saves and is put behind for a corner. We'll pursue other opportunities still to move on. We do want to start working a while up. Our reputation has reached 1 full star now as well. We can't expand on our coaching here as Dulwich put a shot wide. But we are still going to be happy at Dover at the moment because the players we're bringing in are of a higher level now. As I say that, Dulwich go 1-0 up. Harry Williams left unmarked 8 yards out from a decent cross, and we're now behind, having been outplayed in terms of shots in the early 20 minutes as well. Dulwich are looking fairly comfortable. They're still having shots galore. We've not improved at all. We haven't had any attacking highlights since the first few minutes. And half an hour in, Dulwich have got another chance to get it forward. And it looks like we're going to have to become a specialist in half-time team talks at this rate. Our last game against Morecambe, we were absolutely atrocious in the first half. And this one's following suit. As their wingers are unmarked again. Ball across and it's 2-0. Our home record's going, and after all that positivity before this game about finally saying it's not a disaster to stay at Dover, look what's happened. They're not playing for us, despite only making one change, and maybe that's a sign Casey can't come back in. Williams again brings it forward for them as they're 4 on 8 and they're causing us huge trouble with half the amount of players there. They've got him behind on that left again. Harry Williams is the danger man in the box for them yet again. They've cut it back and they've got so much time on the ball on the edge, but thankfully they've put this one well wide. And with 10 minutes to go to half time, we've got a big team talk and some decisions on our hands. Tretcher's picked up a knock as Dulwich are having yet another attack down the left here. They've got the ball to the edge of the box again as they have time for a shot. Parry blocks for Brundle. Murphy brings it away, but it's back to Brundle again. Ayunga's offside there, and nothing's going to come of it. We'll take Tretcher off at half time, and there'll probably be 2 others at this rate too. We're really struggling in the first half of games, and I don't know how to rectify it. As the head coach, it's something I've got to work on tactically, but we're very limited with the squad we've got. And coming up to half-time, they could get a third here before the break. Johnson on the edge, but he's put it wide, and thankfully it will just be 2. Casey's not been absolutely atrocious, so I don't know what the change is in this game. Maybe it's just complacency, but Dulwich are up to 7th, so we would like to have hoped that we'd be in a good frame of mind for this one. We're going to give them an absolute hammering for this one. We'll be aggressive, there's no desire to win, and we'll take Tretcher off on the left wing for Pinnock. We're going to do the early sub for Ayunga, who's struggling for fitness as well. I tell you what, no, I'm going to take Murphy off. Ayunga's the better player. We have to keep faith with him. Boateng's morale is absolutely atrocious. I don't know if that's just being dropped. Surely not. But we're getting to the second half with those 2 changes, and hopefully things will turn for the more positive for us. But it's Dulwich Hamlet with the early possession. A long ball up to Senior, who should clear this away confidently. And Pinnock can bring it forward on the left now with Ayunga. Ayunga's got a couple of men up in support in Ashby. Back to Ayunga again. Ayunga finds George Newell. No, he doesn't. That pass is awful. And the highlight ends. But Dulwich are straight on the attack again with a long free kick. Alex Pike's there in the right back position. Big long clearance up to George Newell. Brings it down well for Ayunga. Ayunga's held it up. But can he find a man running off? He goes back to the left back Senior. Long ball up, but it's to absolutely no one. Ashby gets the second knockdown. Brundle tries to get it in behind to Pinnock, but they'll mop up first there. But their clearance is poor and they flicked it on. But there's no pressure, and they're just able to bring it away easily. Owens over the halfway line to Walker, and they're just running round us easily. Senior heads away to Pinnock, but look, we just can't get men up in support quick enough. Newell goes to Gibbs. Big ball up to Ayunga, but it's not good enough. Atkinson in behind, and Williams is through 1-on-1. Casey's at fault for that one, and he will be back out the team for the next game. We can't have that defensively. One long ball over the top. They're level marking, and Casey just doesn't go with him. It's absolutely awful, and it was nearly 4 there behind. I tell you what, we're going to make that sub now. We're going to take Brundle off this time because he's in the 5s for Coventry, but next game it will be Casey. We're going to also put Ashby into a support role to try and get a bit further forward. and the wingers will try and get into an advanced role, at least on the right hand side, to try and get some support. I don't know about the fullbacks. We'll push Senior a bit further forward as well and see if that makes any difference. But I can't imagine it will at this point at 3-0. We're going to go attacking as well. Let's just throw everything at him. We'll go attacking. We'll run at the defence. See if it makes any difference. I can't imagine it will. But we've got to do something to change this, because this performance out of the blue has been absolutely terrible. Just like the Aldershot game, we collapsed. There's been a couple of games where we've gone a goal down, like Morecambe, where we've just come back brilliantly, and then in others we've collapsed. Newell should have scored on his debut there. A Younger's flick on put him in one-on-one, but he's passed it straight at the keeper, which has got to be a worry for one of the best finishers at the club. As we go well past the hour mark, we're still getting outplayed. They're still having more shots than us, and possession's not falling to us either. And to mention that George Newell looks nervous after 20 minutes on the pitch is also a bit of a concern for us. There's absolutely nothing to report at the moment. We've gone attacking, and with 15 minutes to go we still haven't had a shot. The game's flying through quickly because we're not creating anything and we're not having any chances. Neither are Dulwich, but we're not doing anything at all to replicate our attacking gung-ho activity. They've got the ball in the left-back position again. They're going to get an easy chance to bring it forward. Look how much space they've got. We're supposed to be closing them down more. But in the middle of midfield, they've just got 5-10 yard space every time. Williams, the danger man, again gets a free shot away from 25 yards, but this time he's put it well over. Spencer Gibbs again has been absolutely awful on the right. It seems it was just a one-off the other day. Pinnock wins it back for a Younger. Can we at least get a goal in this game? Ashby to Pinnock, long ball up. Newell could have got in behind, but it's headed away too easily. Meredith on the left for them, knocks it forward. Harry Williams in again, but Scott Brown deals with it this time. He's one of the few players who's had an acceptable game rating-wise, as his long clearance is headed down by a Dulwich head again. We've been absolutely outclassed in this game. Williams shoots again, and it's just wide, but this has been absolutely atrocious. I have no idea where it's come from. The same as the Aldershot one. We've been okay in the games in between. We've won some of them, we've lost some, we've drawn a few, but we've still been playing okay. And then out of the blue, these huge hammerings just turn up. And I have no idea what to do about them, as they've got a free kick on the edge again to Williams, and Scott Brown makes a fantastic save this time. But it's another corner to Dulwich to get another chance to go 4 up. But Casey heads away, but it's fallen straight to the corner taker again. They've got it on the left. They're bringing it forward with so much time again, but Meredith's finally closed down and blocked out for a throw-in. Here they go though on the left with that throw-in. Meredith back to Hancock, the big cross in. Pinnock's got time to bring it away. A big hoof up. Can a Younger get there? He's brought it down, but he's been challenged straight away, and it's brought away again by Dulwich. It's just too easy. Pike can mop up at the back, but Brown's clearance is straight to Gibbs, and he gives it away again. Spencer Gibbs, I can't wait until Tracy's fit again, because Gibbs has been one of the worst loan signings. As Williams hits the post for them again, in acres of space 12 yards out. And I can't wait for this game to be over, because we've really got to think about it. And all I said in the first half about not needing to get out of Dover quickly, forget all that. We will apply for every job that comes while we're in the top half and performing just above expectations. We're never reaching 7th for the 3rd year in a row, and this club is very much on the slide. Maybe when the new signings settle in it will be better, but looking nervous in the first game is not what we want to see. We've got an injury to our left winger Tretcher now as well, so with Pinnock being the only fit option, that could become a problem for us too. With 2 minutes of stoppage time left, we just see out the game. We're not going to get a goal. We haven't looked like scoring, and we don't deserve it. Spencer Gibbs picks up a yellow card just to round things off. The last foot attack of the game will fall to Dulwich. They've given it away to Jack Senior though. Ashby with a long ball forward, headed away easily, and Coventry will have to mop up on halfway. Gets it wide to Gibbs. You'll never guess what he's done. He's given it straight back to them, and they clear it long with Parry getting it back. Ashby to Coventry, up to a Younger. He has a long shot from 25 yards, but it's gone well wide. That is game over then. It's 3-0 to Dulwich Hamlet. We were absolutely awful in that game, and we've got to expect far better than that moving forward. I don't know where these performances are coming from. The 6-1 defeat and the 3-0 sandwiched by 2 brilliant wins. I don't understand it at all. We're still only 2 points off the playoffs. It's not a disaster, but all the goal difference we made up in the last game has gone again now. We'll have a quick look at the match report to see what they've said. It just says they've fired them in contention. You can see 6 shots to 20. We can have no complaints. Tretcher's only out for a few days, thankfully, so we will have our full complement again in the next game. We'll have a quick look at the schedule to see when we'll be back. Obviously, it's FA Cup time. If we get a big first round tie, we'll come back for that. If not, we'll pop back around the start of December time for that Tranmere and Fylde doubleheader. But in the meantime, that will be all from this episode. A massive thank you for watching as always. Subscribe to the channel below for regular Football Manager content from this head coach series every Monday to Thursday at 4:30 PM. If you enjoyed the video, I'd much appreciate it if you could put a thumbs up on there. A big thanks for watching as always, and we'll see you next time.